In this episode of Car and Driver Abroad, we visit Koenigsegg in Sweden and drive their Agera R to the limit on the racetrack and on their own private runway. With 1140 horsepower and a top speed of around 270 miles an hour, this might just be the fastest supercar in the world.
391, 391, it will not go any more than 391. But anyway, 391 is quite fast, isn't it?
Nothing captures the imagination like top speed, and when Andy Wallace hit 242.95 miles an hour in the McLaren F1, the world wondered if a road car would ever go faster. Most said not, but that didn't stop people trying. Koenigsegg, a tiny Swedish manufacturer, went to Nardo, a 7.8 mile high-speed bowl in southern Italy in 2005, and they came very close to beating the McLaren, achieving 241.1 miles an hour despite running on a constant bank turn. There's no question on the flat the CCR would have a new outright record. Then the Bugatti Veyron changed the game, clocking 253.8 miles an hour. But it was heroically surpassed by the SSC Ultimate Aero on a closed road in Washington State. Driver Chuck Bigelow was 71 at the time and reached 256.18 miles an hour. In 2010, Bugatti was back at the top of the tree, the new Supersport recording 267.
This thing, with all its power, they reckon will do roughly 273 miles an hour. But before we just find out what it's like in a straight line, we want to try it on a circuit, because Koenigsegg have got a reputation of being almost undrivable after that famous Top Gear clip where the Stig spun it off into a field. This is the most powerful car they've ever built. We're going to find out whether they've tamed the cars or whether that was just a load of rubbish anyway. It is initially pretty intimidating. It's so loud in here. That V8 is bolted directly to the chassis and you can feel it. It comes up through your stomach. It just sounds angry. But actually, the chassis immediately feels quite manageable. The steering response is really nice. The steering's quite heavy, but it doesn't dart around. I don't know, it feels like there's some real stability in this car. The gear change is a single clutch box, 7-speed unit, and it's very, very good. As good as the Pagani box, the Wyra definitely. Shift is quick. And there's so much noise and so much drama going on in this car that you don't mind that interruption anyway. It sort of just adds to it. It's just a massive assault on your senses. It's a mad, mad thing. Yeah, this is a proper monster car. So the Agera R might just be the fastest production car in the world, and maybe one day it will do 270 miles an hour or more. But that doesn't really matter. What matters is that this is a uniquely savage supercar, more fearsome than a Bugatti, more brutal than a Pagani, but still drivable and even exploitable with care and some practice. One thing's for sure, this is a total original, extreme, wild and seriously wonderful. Koenigsegg, I salute you. always have to be mindful of what you're unleashing when you open the throttle. But having said all of that, we can't come to Sweden, drive this car and not drive it on a runway and try and feel what 0 to 200 miles an hour in 17 seconds feels like. So we're away from the confines of that tiny little racetrack, which was great fun and showed some remarkable qualities in this car that we probably didn't expect. But now we're on a runway. This is Koenigsegg's own runway, which sort of tells you all you need to know about this car. We're going to find out now what 1,000+ horsepower feels like when you've just got a place where you can rip to the limiter in every gear. So, first gear, traction control off. Let's see what the traction's like. Let's go for it.